This is an install instructional video for Rvinyl Precut light tint, and in this video you get tips for front lights, back lights, and reflectors. The first step is to go to rvinyl.com, click on Auto, then Tail Light Tint. On this page you can scroll down to find the car you want or go to the drop-down menu, select the make, the model, and then the year. Choose the Precut option on this page, and then you can choose the shade, tools, warranty option, and quantity. Add to the cart and check out. The Precut Rvinyl light tint comes in a sealed bag. To open, never cut along the pieces, instead cut at the open section at the top. Pull out the straightforward instructional guide and be sure to take advantage of the cashback offer. For the pre-cut pieces of Rvinyl light wrap, they will have some tension from shipping, so a good tip is to lay them flat. This will help with the install portion. If you're a beginner, it's a good idea to work from the easiest section to the hardest. The reflector is the easiest, so first clean it, then grab the rapid prep. Spray the entire area for even coverage, then release the liner from the light tint. Place the adhesive side on the reflector and line up all the edges so they fit perfectly. Make any adjustments if necessary, then push it onto the surface with fingers. Now go over the piece with a squeegee to push the moisture out, using both the hard side and buffer side. Once on, use a microfiber towel to absorb the moisture, then go over the area with a heat gun to activate the adhesive and seal the edges. Now we move on to a backlight that is flat with moderate curves. Clean the light, then spray the surface with Rapid Tack. Make sure the right piece for this is being used, then release the entire liner, hold the piece away from the car, spray the adhesive with Rapid Tack. This helps avoid any fingerprints getting on the adhesive, then position the piece onto the light, and be sure there is perfect alignment. With one hand holding the tint onto the surface, squeegee the opposite side onto the light. Working on a truly flat section first is the best call. If there's a moderate curve on the light, the tint might not stick right away due to the moisture underneath. If this is the case, pick up a heat gun and on a medium setting gently warm the tint and squeegee. This will dry out the moisture underneath. Then, when everything's on, double check the edges are down with the heat gun. Now we move on to a light with slightly more curves, in this case the headlight. Clean it as normal, and a good tip is to always wipe the cutout piece front and back to remove any specks of dirt, and note that this piece will be installed dry. The reason is, for bigger curves, installing a pre-cut piece wet can be very challenging. So, with a dry install, the key is to lock in a section on the flat area and keep the liner on. Heat the film, then gently pull it towards the light. Work in roughly 3 to 4 inches at a time. Gently pull the film around the curve, heat it, then squeegee it on. The liner helps create even tension top to bottom. On the big transition, pull firmly and evenly from top to bottom, still keeping the liner on. The focus should now be mainly on applying the film to the middle section of the light, and not worrying about the top and bottom. Once it's on the main area, be sure to see 2 triangle shapes on the tint on the upper and lower sections. The key is to pick the film back up just to where the wrinkle ends. Here at the bottom, add a bit of heat to relax the film. It'll shrink into place, then squeegee the film onto the surface using a triangle shape. Once the bottom is done, repeat the exact same steps for the top. Pick it up, give it a kiss of heat, which will shrink it back onto the light, then squeegee at a right angle to spread the tension out towards the upper edge. Once the tint is on, go over the light with heat on both the main surface and the edges. Now we get to the most challenging light, in this case the back fender light. A very good tip with a pre-cut piece on a curve is to add masking tape holders at key sections. This will help pulling the film and avoid fingerprints getting on the adhesive, because this, just like the front headlight, will be installed dry. Start the piece as normal by beginning at the tip of the light, squeegee it firmly in place, pick up the pre-cut piece, then release the liner exactly halfway. Bring the piece back to the surface, make sure it's even top to bottom, then with firm tension pulling back away from the area, squeegee top to bottom. Squeegee the tint on the light and be sure to squeegee in 1-inch sections vertically. Once to the big curve, release the entire liner and be sure to hold onto the masking tape tabs. Now, with a helper adding some heat to the tint, warm it to soften, then pull around the corner, pulling up and down at the same time. Squeegee a section onto the light, then focus on one section at a time, in this case the lower corner. Heat and spread the film out towards the corner. Once there are no wrinkles, squeegee it on and repeat the same steps for the upper corner. Spread the tension out, then relax the edges. There may be extra material on the edges, and this is normal as the piece has to be stretched around the curve. For the excess material, place a squeegee on the edge so the film doesn't jump back too far. Then tuck the film in around the edges when possible and cut away any excess film if needed. When done, add heat to the tint to ensure that there are no bubbles and go over all the edges to make sure they are fully sealed. Now, with all the lights wrapped, clean the area with Rapid Clean. This removes any handprints and gives the car and lights a nice shine. And note that the light will shine through the Rvinyl light tint, so safety is ensured along with a custom look. This has been an install instructional video for Rvinyl, proudly produced by the Rep Institute.